yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab and then take it. Like a disease, bring them to their knees. Take for their disease. Just like a weed, spread into the streets. Time to make them bleed. 'Cause we just want retribution. Let's go light up the darkness. Make true of an empty promise. With gods in the weekend, harmless. Take to the streets and turn them to a mosh pit. 'Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution.
Yeah, love it. Love it, Prince Adam. Great intro, dude.
Yeah, I found myself after the week off, I found myself lost in the songs and the video again.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah. Just enjoying it.
Yeah, for sure. I kind of like the every other week thing. I don't know how happy you would be about that, but I kind of like. Huh? What'd you say?
Very displeased.
Very displeased. Adam's chomping at the bit. He's fucking bored over. Oh, excuse my French. Sorry, it's not Tuesday night. Gosh,
I know.
He is. I think Adam just, he works all day. He sits there and he's just his wheels are turning.
The dog is ready to run.
The dog is ready to run. He's kind of like the Cutlass. You can't sit at a light because it just keeps one to hop forward.
Yeah, my idol is rich.
The idol is rich. Burning your eyes. So Carter Jackson, what's good, brother man?
Sure.
ADRL champion Carter Jackson. He's a little stud. He's a everything champion of all the series for everybody.
Future.
He's a junior drag racing champion. Should I say pro mod drag racing champion? Anyways, so what's good, man? How you feeling? How's life?
Still just 2 teeth down and working on a third.
Two teeth down. So, I know not everybody is part of our Tuesday night podcast, but, Adam is, here's what I got to say about Adam. Adam is a very determined. He's not a completely extroverted person. He's highly intellectual, super smart, very witty. And I just don't take him to be like this. And no offense, Adam, but Adam doesn't come off as like this ultra gritty, like super hardcore dude that, but you can't judge a book by its cover. Yeah. And the reason
my accounts receivable job didn't tip you off.
Or your electric motorcycle, but you do have quite a palatial estate there in your 20,000 square foot mansion and your giant. What I don't want to spill the beans on your stuff, but your gigantic bush maze behind your house. Anyways, so I preface all that with this man, Prince Adam. I don't know, you can call him King Adam now. Had a couple issues with his bottom four front teeth.
Oh yeah.
And instead of going to the dentist as most of our society would do when they have a tooth issue, Adam took it upon himself to play survivor and pulled his two bottom front teeth out on his own. Yep. Which makes me super squeamish. Man, I've seen some really hardcore stuff in my life. You name it, blood, death, guts, gore, all of it. That makes me squeamish. And just to know that Adam pulled out his own two front teeth is pretty dope, dude.
Yeah, so, well, when they tell you got to get 5 taken out and you can whittle down that price to just 3, okay.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, you could buy the dentist office, but you're like, hey, how about instead I just save myself some money?
Yeah, you don't get in a state like this by just spending frivolously.
That's right, dude. You're super shrewd. You look up shrewd and that's a picture of Prince Adam in there.
Yeah.
Love it. But yeah, man. So good week so far. Been super busy. Hey, while we're thinking about it, we do want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Renegade Racing Fuel, Fuel Tech USA, and Chris Dunker Race Cars. Appreciate our sponsors and everything they've done, not only participating with us, but for their support as well. So we love them. Luis, Toby, Chris, Amanda, love you guys. And anyways, so yeah, it's been pretty busy, dude. So we're going to get hot and heavy here pretty soon. We're a handful of months out from Huntsville. And, we've got a lot of things to discuss. It's going to be a little different of an operation. Well, I shouldn't say it's going to be much different than, say, like SGMP. Maybe sort of kind of the same platform. But I did hear that Huntsville, and I haven't reached out to Dave to talk to him. I know they're doing a big pro mod race down there this weekend, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct.
But I think that he did have some track issues, didn't he? From the storms that came through.
Yeah, they were closed down, I think, a couple weekends at least for water on the track, and then some damage, I believe, from the storm.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it just bubbling the surface up, or do you know already?
Water they just couldn't get rid of. Water.
Yeah. Kind of like a SGMP scenario.
I guess a little bit,
but on a much greater scale.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely a bigger scale. So, no, they've been having issues down there. So it's good to hear that they're going to be getting the race off. As long as
and 2 things. I didn't get a chance to tell you happy Juneteenth, Adam, and
indeed,
happy Gay Pride Month.
You know me. That's right. Taking these teeth out wasn't all bad. Oh Christ!
Oh Lord! This is not the Tuesday Night Podcast.
Nope, it sure is.
Yeah, totally lost. No, but for all of our gay drag racers out there, happy June Gay Pride Month.
Yep.
Yeah. So, anyways, and I hate that they have to be singled out to one single month, right? Like, geez, man.
Can't we just celebrate everybody all the time?
I know, right? Like, golly, where's all this inclusivity stuff and things?
It only exists on Facebook.
Oh, well, you know what, man? I'm proud to be an American and a Marine Corps veteran and a part of this great country and proud owner of the American Drag Racing League. And I'm proud to have you on my team, Prince Adam, my toothless ninja. You're even more hardcore than I thought now. So, next time I get close to a fist fight at the starting line, I expect you to kind of be there.
I got sharp elbows.
I got sharp elbows. I don't think I have sharp elbows. Hey, what's up? Huey, Lewis in the news.
What's up, Barn? Didn't mean threw your comment up, but Ryan was in the middle of talking, so didn't get to say what's up.
Oh, yeah, no, there it is. There it is. We got it.
Oh, yeah.
Good evening. What's good? Live drag racing. So, yeah, man. So this summer's been busy. Oh, I think it's been busy. There's just been a lot of this whole year has been Prince Albert. How did you know? Bruce, what's good, my friend?
Welcome to the party.
Yeah, glad to have you in here, man. So yeah, this whole year has just been kind of crazy, dude, with all the storms, and I am used to being ignored.
Not around here, not on my watch.
Hey, man, not on our watch. We're in it together. We're in it to win it. This is our drag racing militia, American drag racing militia. Oh, I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's kind of like Slayer's metal militia. We'll just do the ADRL drag racing militia. What are you laughing at comments? But not them?
No. I just knew instantly your mind goes to Slayer and stuff like that.
Yeah, I can't help it. Adams goes. Yeah, I don't know. Where does your mind go?
I mean, my mind instantly went to it went to motocross.
Motocross.
Yeah. Metal militia.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah. I gotcha. Yeah, Slayer Army, Metal Militia. Gotcha. Watching from Knoxville, Tennessee. I love Knoxville. Tennessee is just a great state to run through. I'm really becoming a huge fan of Kentucky. I've always loved Tennessee.
Facebook, I think somebody we all know happened to have stopped in Tennessee today.
Oh, I was gonna bring. Oh, it's so good. If you haven't had a chance, go to Bubba Stanton Racing, BSR. Go to his Facebook page or go to our Facebook page and check it out. There's been a little rivalry between the landlord and Big Bad Bubba Stanton. And they're two, let me tell you, Bubba Stanton's a ADRL world champion, and Mr. Sullivan, the landlord, as well, is an ADRL champion. So, they got a little little something going on, little friendly beef. Nothing serious, but
red car rivalry.
Yeah, red car rivalry. Well, I don't know. We'll see. Apparently, Bubba's got himself a new ride. Yeah. So don't know what it's going to look like, but I certainly am excited.
I think I got a feeling I know what it looks like.
I think I might have an idea. And Hank Stubbs, man, if you're out there listening, brother, hope you're healing up all right, dude. Thinking about you and your whole hey, Mr. Bone, what's good, brother, man? I met Steve at World Series of Pro Mod, dude. What a cool ass cat. We were the only ones rocking mohawks, so of course we have a now. It's summertime. I haven't had a chance to get my hair cut, so now I'm pulling the
summertime, and now you grow your hair long.
I just have not. My I was gonna say butcher. My barber, she's like 2 months out, so fuck or fudge. Bunch of wake jobs. If it wasn't for screwing, wake off.
Bruce had a great question.
Let's see. How many events are planned for 2025? Anything
good in the pipes?
Anything good in the pipes? I like that question. Yeah, 25 is going to be great, man. I mean, we've pretty much solidified majority of our events for 25. Now it's it's nailing down a couple more. See exactly how many we want to do and landing some big time sponsors for these events. So, as everybody knows, this is Prince Adam and I's first go around in the industry, getting some sponsors. We're pretty amazed with the support we've had from our current sponsors, but we got more to tap. We need to get some more sponsors in there and whack off.
I read the
I know. Oh my gosh. But yeah, 25 is going to be great. And we're looking forward to finishing up this year. We got 2 super killer events. Let's see. Obviously we got Rocket City Dragway. And that's in Huntsville. That'll be in October. And then in November, we're going down to XRP. Speaking of XRP, boy, that was quite a little bit of a
Controversy.
A little controversy happening there between the track and No Prep Kings. I'm just gonna say this. I know that No Prep Kings is a big organization. I know they've been around for a while. I'm not fully aware, or do I understand their current business model fully. I know they're kind of making some adjustments and bobbing and weaving and doing some things. I think they sold. Now they're doing it on their own. I don't know. I don't know for sure. You can look that up. But I know that they're a big operation. When Clyde posted that about them not paying and instead rescheduling it for Ennis, was a little confusing because originally I did see it in Ennis, and then it went to XRP, which I've been to XRP. I've not been. The business model is winging it, I guess. But you know what? I mean, in business, that's business, right? You have an idea, you have a vision, you kind of strategize and plan. You kind of go down the road, and you have to make your adjustments and adapt to certain things. And, that's just business, and I get that. But what I will say is that when Clyde says something, and I'm not riding Clyde's balls by any means, man. I'm a person of character and competence, and I think there's a lot that goes into that. Street Outlaw, No Prep, been around for years. The other No Prep guys was much better. They wasn't political and making the same.
They just
I wish I could read over the damn camera. Anyways,
Lucas in the house.
All right, Alabama, Mr. Lucas. Love that guy, man.
In all the southern states.
Yes, sir. Mr. Lucas, in case you didn't know, everybody that's out there watching right now, Dan Lucas is the oldest licensed NHRA drag racing member. I guess that's how you would say that. But yeah, that's pretty awesome. I think he's
one hell of a guy on top.
I think he's like 55 or something like that.
Yeah, just a bit
maybe
over
60. Yeah. Add my lifetime on top of that, I think is kind of where he's at. But look, I only and I don't judge. I'm not a person that judges people. I look at people based on their actions and their character and their competence. And working with Clyde, Clyde is no bullshit. The guy is a successful businessman. He doesn't sugarcoat anything. I've had business dealings with Clyde, and the dude is up and up. I mean, that's the bottom line, right?
Clyde's got a hell of a promo, but he doesn't bullshit.
He doesn't bullshit. Look, Clyde is Clyde, right? And he's got a great sense of humor, and he's been around, and he gets to drinking that Texas tea, and he is one of the best shit talkers on the planet. I mean, I think he should do stand up. I mean, he's funny as hell, right? He
has me in stitches, and I'm a hard laugh.
For sure, you are. Yeah. And he'll get you and I rolling, man, right? And so I will have to say that based on my experience with Clyde, I'm gonna have to firmly believe what Clyde's saying, and whatever that means. I'm not trying to get in the middle of anybody's shit, but it was quite a little thing they had going on, man. And it was kind of interesting watching everybody take sides and ONS and blah blah blah, and Clyde can't hold that track. Look, man, if you've never been to XRP, if you don't think that Clyde can hold a giant event there, you are sadly mistaken, man. I mean, that is like 500 acres of concrete.
Clyde's not the guy to tell you can't.
Oh, right. Exactly. Yeah. 55 best, 28 to that. But thanks. And what a great dude. I mean, you want to talk about fit? I can only hope. And I got to ask Dan what his secret is to being in shape like he is. But that man is strong and ripped and tall, and he just comes from some good old fashioned gene stock, man, of just the baddest. I mean, dude's a machine, pushing his dragster around and shit. What, in his 80s, I guess he is. I don't know. Nope, events are not that giant.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I was going off some of the comments like, oh, Clyde's track can't hold that many trailers.
Better off going to
blah blah blah. I was like, bro,
spilling out in the streets. That's what you want the look to be.
Let me tell you something. We had a pretty banger event. I would say comparable to a No Prep King event in June of last year at Clyde's track, and there was plenty of room plus some. So I mean, we had the spectators and the trucks, and it was great. His crew keeps him. What's it say?
Team effort. His crew keeps him in shape with stuff that comes out of his crew's mouths.
Yeah, who's he referencing? I'm sorry, I'm not. Dan. Oh, gotcha. Understand. I saw the giant remark also. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, hey, it's interesting. Hey, and we want to say this too. Appreciate everybody watching. If you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, any of the platforms, please like, subscribe, do the whole thing. Appreciate that. And, throw us some stars, man. Show the love. We've been getting lots of stars. So we'll take some more stars. If you don't know what they are, look them up. It's going to be pretty fantastic to start getting more. And actually, we're starting to be monetized a little bit, right, Prince Adam? That was pretty exciting.
Making progress.
Making progress. So, so speaking of this season coming up, as you know, Prince Adam and I getting into this promoting drag racing events. Neither one of us have been racers ourselves, but firmly believe in teamwork and working and creating alliances with other high performing organizations. And so we've done that with the SNRA at some of our other events. And I really like the feel of that. It's something that we've kind of talked about with Donald Long and Lights Out and Duck X Productions, and just bringing the big guys together to put on some killer events. So we love that idea, and we're going to kind of continue to see how that works out. Now we have 2 races left. One in October is in Rocket City Dragway, Huntsville, Alabama, and then we have another one in November at XRP. But this one in Huntsville at Rocket City Dragway, I got a phone call from an individual that just a really outgoing cat. I mean, just a really, you could just tell the determination, the sense of, just the sense of determination, right? In that fight. And so when we talked for the first time, he was like, "Hey, would you be interested in, actually, you know what? We'll save some of that. Let's just bring on Brian Whittworth and Tyler with the Verge. We got the Verge with us. What's up, fellas?
What's going on?
Oh man,
What's up, guys?
How's everything going?
It's all good here. Trying to keep up, and this is the weekday that Brian
doing something in North Florida. I think you guys froze up just a little bit there. Is that us, Adam, or is that them?
probably
Sure.
decided.
Nope.
Oh,
They're back.
there we go. Sorry, you guys froze up just a little bit, man. Sorry about that. You guys are in the shop, I take it?
Yep,
Yeah,
out here in
yeah.
the shop.
Makes sense. You want to repeat, just kind of throw back what you said real quick? You guys froze up just a little bit. Sorry about that, man.
Yeah, just catching up. This is the day of the week Brian comes over and tries to catch me up on everything he's doing on the.
For now,
on back
so
stuff,
who's
Verge events and our other stuff, and it's too.
Amen. So some Barnes says, "Thank you, TB Promotions, for not letting the Verge." So who is TB Promotions?
Tyler and Brian. It was just-
There it is.
There it is.
Right in
There
front
it
of you.
is. All right, we're gonna connect some dots here. By the end of it, we're gonna have a badass picture of a hot rod here. We're just gonna connect these dots through the episode here. So let's kind of back up a little bit. So and this is just from a certain level of ignorance from my standpoint, because we are somewhat, get 2 years in, Adam and I being acclimated to the industry at this point. I'm used to it from 15, 20, 25 years ago, but a lot of things have changed over the past 10 years. And the Verge, or Verge, is it Verge or the Verge? I want to make sure I say it properly.
It's technically
God.
Verge Quick Outlaw Series. So,
Verge Quick Outlaw Series. Oh,
yes, sir.
okay. I'm going to jump in on a comment here real quick.
I knew this was going to come up, and if it wasn't, I was going to force it to. You've been talking too much to not.
I know. I've been bringing it up. Okay. So, I'm just going to throw this out there. So, in the world of the American Drag Racing League and outlaw drag racing, we've always looked at outlaw drag racing as no rules, run what you brung, just straight up outlaw drag racing. Now, over the past, year since we've been doing this, I see outlaw on a lot of stuff, and I'm like, well, what in the hell does outlaw actually mean? Like, what does outlaw mean? So, you guys tell, and again, this is a certain level of ignorance, I guess, per se, from my end, but I only know outlaw is no rules, no minimum wage, just no rules, NHRA safety rules. That's it. But it's run what you brung. So I see you guys use the term outlaw in some of your stuff. Now, explain to me how outlaw correlates with what you guys are doing.
Well,
Oh no, not now.
No. Oh no, we're froze up now.
Yeah. Are we good?
I can hear you. There you go. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah. We actually bought it with the name, so the name came with it.
There it is.
I look at outlaw very similar. And this stuff, I think a lot of these series that are newer are just getting away from the normal and maybe starting to use that term a lot more, just getting away from kind of the one way of looking at things in drag racing.
You know, and that's okay. It's the evolution of everything, right? And I'm fine with that. I've got a few correlations, but they're probably.
And I think Verge started the way I understand. Verge started at some smaller outlaw tracks that about 450 or 470 was about as fast as you wanted to go at these tracks, these facilities.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, for those facilities, these guys were the outlaws, right?
Gotcha.
I understand they're not going 380s, 350s, 360s, but they're also going 450 or 470 on an asphalt road that's got 1,200 foot of shutdown, not 3,000 foot of shutdown. So,
okay,
and its own kind of deal. They were the outlaws back then.
I see. Yeah.
So I think that's kind of where it started. And then Jeffrey Walls got a hold of it after a lady named Ashley Pritchett started it, I believe, way back in the day. And Jeff took it over for, I think he had it for 4 or 5 years, 3 or 4 years. And
It's like the Wi-Fi hates Tyler.
he just had to come to a point where he couldn't put the effort into it that he wanted and kept it going.
That makes sense.
That froze up.
Yeah. You guys are frozen up pretty good. It's funny because Adam's like, I just think the Wi-Fi hates Tyler.
He walked away and it went crystal clear. It goes good for about a minute, and then for about 10 seconds it'll kind of freeze up and then back in for a minute.
That's where I walked off over there to.
It's all good. It is all good.
Change.
Are we watching my phone?
Well, we'll keep working through it. Yeah, it's kind of freezing in and out, but it's no big deal, man. We'll keep talking. So, we're really excited about this race coming up here in Huntsville, man. So you guys had a race here this past 2 weekends ago, is that right? Or last weekend or weekend before that?
Yeah, so we actually had a race. We had a Verge race in London, Kentucky, 2 weeks ago.
Nice. How'd that go?
Awesome little facility. I think we had the most 470 cars we've ever had. I think it was 59 470 cars. And we're talking like ex Pro Stock Cutlasses, ex Pro Stock trucks, blown Mavericks, you know, Monte Carlos with a ton of juice in them.
Every kind of old school body, but also the new stuff. Lots of Corvettes, of course.
Yeah.
But
Daryl Alderman, who used to run Pro Stock, was out there with his son Chase Alderman.
Oh wow! So this is
470.
so Kentucky seems to be like a nice little. It's almost like a nucleus of a big.
Right, I would definitely say I would say the Midwest for sure.
Yeah,
you know, stretching from Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee.
Yeah,
a lot of those cars. You know, Jerry Bickle, Jerry Haas, all those, you know, tube chassis builders back in the day. All those Pro Stock cars, you know. They were pumping them out. So, you know, there was a lot of them in the area just out of proximity. So,
yeah, for sure. And there's still, you know, I mean, obviously Jeffers still pumps them out, but I'd love to see that, you know, even after Mr. Bickle had passed away, you know, it seemed like they'd kind of taken a lull, but it looks like they've gotten a hold of their marketing, or they got somebody doing marketing now, and they're getting really good fast traction right now. Bickle is. So it's good to see them guys kind of coming back around and pumping out some good chassis and cars for everybody. So, yeah, 59 cars. That's pretty awesome, man. Shit.
Yeah.
I could only, you know, we'll get there. You know, it's like the ADRL kind of had a hiatus for a handful of years. And so, you know, a lot of our racers have purpose built, you know, pro extreme trim, right? Whether it's a nitrous car or a blower car. So a lot of them are knocking the dust off of them. And now that we've been putting these races back on ourselves, now we got like Bubba Stanton's got a new ride, and he sold his car to somebody, and it's a rolling chassis, and they're going to be doing something to it. And like all these guys are making their trim back out. So when I hear 59 cars, man, that's pretty fantastic, dude. That lets me know that it's healthy, and drag racing is on the up and up. It's coming up more now, I think, than it has been in the past couple of years. I don't know if maybe Street Outlaws or No Prep Kings or something kind of sort of maybe had it pigeonholed in the eyes of everybody. I don't know, but right. I don't know if you guys
expanded it. It gave it a wider visibility and a bigger audience outside of the traditional people that are already into drag racing. It caught some auxiliary fans that then became possibly racers or dedicated spectators out of it. So
yeah,
it helped in that aspect.
Yeah. However, the past 2 or 3 years, man, I've definitely seen uptick in drag racing just in general with the series and bigger races, bigger money. I mean, now you got Wes and his buddy and them guys doing the World Series of Pro Mod, and they finally got some good traction during this last event. And, so it's good to see it nice and healthy. So I'm glad. What's up, Mr. Gilmore? So I'm really glad to see you guys had a 59 car turnout. That's just absolutely ripping, man. Congratulations.
Right, that was just in 470. And then
just in 470.
I think we had so 450, I think we had right at 50 entries in that, and that's our dragster class. And then we had junior drag, we had like almost junior dragster class.
Whew. Boy, yeah, that's fantastic, man. That's great. So
I mean, it was a total of what was he said?
I can read. I'm working on it here.
It's all right. It's all right. You guys are coming through just fine. So yeah. So congratulations again, man. That's super awesome. So we're looking forward to teaming up with you guys. As I was kind of saying before we move forward and brought you guys on, that we're looking forward to partnering up with you and having this big event in Huntsville. And sounds like Dave's got his track back together, and he's got a big pro mod race going on this weekend. So that's good to hear. And hopefully he's kind of shaking up the ants as far as the pro mods up there, and maybe some 470 cars and 450 cars. You guys 450, right, as well?
Yeah.
And is that dragster or is that door? That's all dragsters.
Those are dragsters.
All dragsters.
Okay, awesome, man. Well, shit, we're gonna put one hell of an event on. I'm gonna tell you that.
Sure.
I mean, it's gonna be a banger. So
London Dragway also, they had like an outlaw pro mod local deal when we were at London, and I think they had 5 pro mods there. Stephen Stringer was like the best one or the quickest one there. Went 380 something, but it really paired really well with the 470, 450 cars.
Yeah,
along with the pro mods. I mean, they had a good spectator count. It's a smaller facility, awesome facility.
Yeah,
the people are all great, but I mean, the stands were full, and I mean, there was cars lined up on the both sides of the track, and their vehicles camping and grilling out and stuff. And
that's so
good. Had a
good.
vibe, man. It was cool. It was
yeah, yeah. And there's nothing better than having that killer vibe, and just in general, whenever you get a good spectator turnout and you see them lined up along the strip, and everybody's camping out and barbecuing and drinking, they're in the stands gambling and calling lanes, man. It's just that energy. You're like, oh, this is what I'm talking about, right? It's good stuff. We had, when we did drag stock at Rockingham Dragway last year, we had 470 guys come out there and join us, and we probably had a good 30 cars there. But that was my first experience with 470 cars, and I want to tell you what, not only are they efficient and consistent, but they're low maintenance. The guys come in with their wives and a kid with a trailer in their truck, and they don't have any more than that. They're hanging out, having a good time. Everybody's really awesome, and they put on a good show. I mean, it's very consistent. They're hooking up, and they look just like any kind of fast pro mod. I mean, really, they are. I guess they're just tuned down. Mm-hmm. I mean, they could probably run 370s, 380s if they want, but they just tune them down so you get a.
We've got a couple of pro charged entries. The guy that races with us, Doug Yates and Chris Cadle, they've got a couple Tim McCamus pro charge Camaros that
nice,
easily go 390s, and they've got them in high gear only and choke down the pro chargers and everything else going 470 at 160 mile an hour or something like that. So,
Right.
it makes for it's pretty cool with all the different combinations and the people. Like, it's all about the people. So
100%.
This group of racers is great, man. They're a tight clique, and like you said, they've got their shit together, man. I mean, they roll up, they know what they're doing, and they're laying down really good runs, and it's really hard to win. I mean, it's tough. We put on big money bracket races on the TP promotion side. Like, we pay 50,000, 100,000, 250,000, and we're seeing some crossover just between our bracket races and the index stuff.
Oh,
And,
okay.
some guys coming in thinking they're just going to walk through there, and it hasn't been that way, So
yeah, they're in
oh yeah,
yeah, they're in the pits all sweating like, damn it, thought this was going to be a cakewalk.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It's good racing, man. And you mentioned Bubba Stanton earlier.
Oh yeah,
he's actually owns a car. It's a old Jegs Cutlass.
Yeah.
It shows up and runs on our 470 stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool. And then Jason Hutchinson drives it, and I guess they're
Nice.
buddies and all that stuff. We're learning all these people too. It was 31 days from the time we took over Verge to our first event at Bowling Green.
Damn.
And
Oh, dang, man.
we'd never even actually been to a Verge event, either one of us. We'd heard about it, read about it. I knew Jeff Walls distantly, the previous owner, and it was 30 some days, and we took over and showed up at Bowling Green and said, all right, here we are. Like, let's figure it out. And,
I know
we had
that
130 total entries at that event at Bowling Green at Beach Bend Raceway Park. And
oh man, that's great.
And it was awesome, man. It was an awesome show.
That's fantastic. You guys, good for you. And it's amazing that you guys can step into that and just grab it by the reins and capitalize on that opportunity. I know it didn't come without a price. However, you clearly are putting in the work and the effort to make sure that it not only, does maybe now. Well, let's back up a little bit. So tell me a little bit about the Verge prior to you guys acquiring it. How long had it been around? And it seems to me that it had a really decent following, and you guys had quite an undertaking to take that over, and then 31 days later put on an event.
So that about 5 years ago, and I made a change here on the internet. Hopefully it's a little better, but
it's perfect.
Yeah, it's been going great.
Good deal. So about 5 years ago, it was started in like the North Georgia area. I think is kind of where it began, but
Tennessee too.
Yeah. And then a couple years into it, Mr. Jeffrey Walls, they do low carb performance, is those guys. And he kind of picked up and where it was and kind of ran with it for a few years. And it was really, kind of like you were talking with ADRL, it had gotten to the point where people were starting to build cars specifically for this.
Mm-hmm.
And, March the 12th, I believe, was the day that he posted, with the business growing and he's not much different than Brian and I in age and family growing and stuff like that. It was too much for him. And he just, he was going to shut it down right there and kind of came out and did so. And Brian and I talked, and we're just dumb drag racers that like to try to keep making the sport better. And, decided that it was worth the challenge and took it over. And
Amen.
31 days we were sending cars. So
it had a lot of steam behind it. I mean, Jeff really, he brought in a lot of marketing partners. They paid $10,000 to win. That's unheard of in any kind of index racing,
well, especially
period.
in like that 100%. Exactly. Yep.
Right. NHRA guys. I mean, and we've done it, and Tyler does it all the time. But that's probably the most popular index racing with out there, and it pays $1,200 to win a divisional. So we were doing an 8th mile outlaw style 470 door car index class, pays $10,000.
Yeah.
And Jeff started all that, and he built the car counts up. And like you said, 31 days we took over, and Bowling Green had the biggest car count it's had total for the event. Some of the classes were just a few cars short, and me and Tyler were stoked about that, right? Because these guys that had, the racers, we give a lot of the credit to Jeff, but the racers in the series built that series, right? Without the racers, you can't have a series. So,
amen.
Them guys, those guys were shocked just as much as we were, right? Like the series got ripped out from underneath their feet one day, and 2 days later, we announced that TB Promotions, two guys that a lot of them racers don't know because they live in that series. They showed up and gave us, they gave us a shot, Tyler and I, and they showed out big, and we're just continuing on with that momentum.
That's great, man. So when you acquired the organization, clearly it sounds like a lot of things were in place and you had some good momentum going. Were you able to retain your staff that you needed to hold your events, or did you have to go out and forge for new competition directors in front of like what?
You're kind of looking at them.
We're learning quite a bit too.
Yeah.
Because I say learning. We've been building. It came with one or two people that Jeffrey had built with it, and then we've been able with the Verge stuff. Like he said, it's basically just me and him right now. But we built a really good team that we're really proud of on our bracket racing side. They CompuLink specialist and track prep specialist and stuff like that we carry with us all over the country.
You guys talked to Bubba and Letha Corzine?
I believe you did. You know?
I don't think so.
No. Okay.
No. They're like the OGs of CompuLink. They're like they're like the OG. I think maybe the first ones ever to use it, install it ever. Anyways, you would know them. Yeah. Anyways, go ahead.
We don't
familiar
with
the name. Yeah. We're kind of a little. I'm 33. Tyler's 26. So.
Damn, good for you guys, man. Kicking it in the balls right out of the gate. There it is.
A lot of our staff is our age or younger.
We've got two 18-year-olds on the staff that just, all I know in my life is drag racing. Brian's the same way. It's all we've ever done. And we've kind of built the people under us that feel the same way about it. And so we don't know nothing else. I mean, it's all, like I said, it's all I've ever done. And just, that's pretty much what we got for team.
That's great. So it sounds like after spending a lifetime doing it, I mean, 20-something years since you were a little kid, I'd imagine maybe your guys' parents were you guys dads and drag racing as well? Yeah, right. So grew up going
third generation, and then they've been doing it for 35, 40 years also.
Oh, man, man, I'm jealous. I'm not jealous, but that just was not my life cycle. But that's so good. So, after a few generations, clearly you're in the know. You're in the core group of people that know things. So that's great because you're able to go in there and actually find some guys to help you out. And, it probably wasn't too tremendously hard to find some young, invigorated individuals that love drag racing as much as you to come and help. They're like, yeah, we want to help, just that level of enthusiasm's through the roof. Right. So it's pretty awesome.
The first guy I ever hired at the first race, I told him I couldn't afford to pay him, but I had a case of beer and he could sit by the microphone and that's where he'd be all day. And he's been with us 5 years now.
Oh, so, that's great. Well, they believe in you, man. You know what that is? That's just good leadership. That's a good testament of character, honestly. Whenever you can.
Yeah, good job.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
And then shout out for sure our better halves. We're both married. Our wives help. Tyler's mom helps.
That's ironic.
It's a family affair. You got to have it. I mean, I understand like your family. I think I've listened to you, Ryan.
Yeah, man. It's my mom. She helps as the coordinator of the event. She handles merchandise and the gates and all that. And, she's in there. And then Prince Adam, one of my best friends, he's in there with me. And look, none of us get paid. We all do it because we love it. Well, Adam, how much do you love it?
I'm here.
I'm here. Right. He's here. So that says something, but Adam is Adam's our photographer, our videographer. He handles a lot of social media stuff, obviously our podcast. And so, when he was like, yeah, let's do this thing, I was like, great. And so, we go to the races. We have a great time for a couple days. Isn't it tough though? I wish I could go to the race. Because I am so green, I wish I could go to the race and enjoy it and spend more time in the pits. But it's like by the time Sunday's over and we're rolling into Monday, I am done, dude. I am wiped out and just like, and everybody's like, oh, how was it? I'll come back home and everybody's like, well, how was the race? And I tell them, well, it was a great event. We had great spectators and the races were great. And then in my mind, it's like, you start thinking of all the other shit that had happened and the racers
that nobody knows about.
Yeah, exactly. So you want to be enthusiastic and share that, but it's not like going to someone else's event and just being able to enjoy it. I mean, you're in the mix.
Well, I mean, you're there for a job, right? Like
exactly.
People give you money or give us money and they expect that you hold up your end and do
That's
everything
right.
you say you're going to do. So
You stress about that. For
you
3
stress
days,
about
and then
that
Monday,
Right.
but if you're not stressing about that, you don't care, right?
Oh my
Like,
God.
I'd much rather be that guy.
So how stressful is it for you guys, the week prior to the event, where 2 weeks when it's like, oh, it's going to be a great weekend, it's going to be sunny. And then by like Monday or Tuesday, it's 20%. And by Wednesday, it's like 40% chance of rain. You're like, oh my God, no, come on.
The Verge
man.
stuff is actually, I'm not going to say the word easy. It's not easy, but our big money bracket stuff, those are 4 or 5 day events. We race for 4 days.
Well, you guys are pulling some Donald Long stuff, man.
We roll in on Tuesday and don't leave till Monday morning.
Oh my gosh.
We're paying out, $500,000 in payout.
Yeah,
and they're all separate races every day, and it's really hard to get a forecast good enough for 2 days, more or less 5.
Yeah, no kidding.
So when we roll into Verge, we only got to worry about 2 days, and we're like, oh, this is golden, we're fine.
Yeah, okay,
we can make this work. So
that makes sense. Well, look, man, I'm stressing over getting people stacked in Thursday night and being finished by Sunday, right? You guys are on a whole nother level, and I can't forget in my mind that you guys are promoters for a whole nother series prior to even taking over the Verge, right? So I can't lose sight of that, right? So you guys do have a tremendous amount of experience as promoters putting on some really big money races, which is awesome, which is great because I'm green and I can use some mentors. So it'll be great. I'll be picking your brains and be like, guys, okay, so what about this? What do you think I should do? So it's great, man.
And as much as you think you learned a lot and all that stuff. Every event we go to, I can think of a couple different things at St. Louis last weekend that we had never seen before.
Shit, I didn't know you guys were in St. Louis last weekend, man.
We raced Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So that deal we did, we gave away a brand new car on Thursday. We ran for $50,000 Friday and Saturday, $25,000 on Sunday, and we had right at 400 cars for that deal, 390. I think.
Wow, man! Shit,
every day.
Yeah,
that's every day. You start every day with that many.
Well, we only live 30 minutes from the track, man. I would have loved to come out and hang out, and
you should have.
I didn't, man. Dude. I think it was Father's Day. I think it was what was happening.
It wasn't Father's Day on Thursday, but
no, or Tuesday.
Yeah,
Wednesday.
We got there on Tuesday. Yeah, right. For sure.
Well, shit, yeah, and we could have drug you out and take you to some local spots and just kind of maybe go on the river and do some boating and go have some lunch or something. But we'll do that next time. Do you guys have any other events coming up in St. Louis?
What do we know?
No.
Maybe.
No.
We don't really know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, on the fence.
We once paid $10,000 on a Tuesday there in like 3 different classes.
Yeah.
In between the national event and the divisional on a Tuesday, which was kind of wild, and we had 400 cars at that on a 1-day deal.
Yeah,
it was bizarre. I don't know if we're going to do it again, but
that sounds slightly bizarre and totally out of the ordinary.
It was wild, but it went all. It worked out. Yeah. It was one of the deals. So
that deal we kind of did in correlation with NHRA and the racetrack, kind of going on the backside there between their races it was something St. Louis asked us to do, but actually taking the NHRA categories and giving them something to race on a Tuesday. And for me, I grew up an NHRA racer. My dad won the U.S. Nationals. And,
no shit! Your dad was NHRA U.S. Okay, what did he? Oh, that's awesome.
We ran stock and super stock all my life. I've kind of branched out to a few other classes and done that deal. But so I got a weak spot for the NHRA stuff and trying to.
I understand, man. They've been the creme de la. I mean, it's been the NHRA has been the NHRA for a long time. So it doesn't care. I don't care if people think that it's struggling or not struggling. It doesn't matter, man. It's the NHRA, and they set the precedent. So I get it, man. I get it for sure.
I've been ready to burn the tower down with NHRA, and I mean, they don't always, as far as the sportsman guys, they don't always do what we want them to, but. One thing that the backside of this has taught me being a businessman, Brian, is this is not an easy side to be on, and them, they got a lot of people looking at them in a lot of different angles, and it's hard to make, you're not gonna make everybody happy, but it's even
that's
harder.
A good point. Yeah, that was some of my first words of wisdom from some guys is when I first got into this is, you're not gonna make everybody happy, and it sucks because just me personally. I in a weird way feel like one of my missions in life is just to bring a certain level of I'm not gonna say happiness, but just like any interaction I have with any human, you want it to be a good positive interaction, and whether that helps you or them or whatever, right? So I think innately I like the idea of being able to interact with people and making people happy, but you learn real quick as a promoter that that's not going to happen. You're like, oh, I'm going to make this decision, it'll be great, and all of a sudden they're carrying torches, and they're like coming out of the pits with torches.
They're on the internet. I mean, they're on the internet before you could even get the announcement out.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. It's something else. So yeah, I mean, that's interesting doing anything with the NHRA, because they've got they're under a certain type of lens. So there's a lot of very critical thinking that goes on with any of their events, I imagine. Especially
we've been fortunate enough to work with, kind of like you were talking about earlier, different organizations, other promoters. And when we first started out, I mean, we reached out. We raced a lot of the other big money, we're talking about the Flings and the Ultimate 64 and all of those different big money bracket race promoters that we grew up like idolizing and wanting to go to those races. When we first started, we reached out to all of those guys, right? We were friends with them to some degree. And, we leaned on them, and all of them were super nice. And, kind of along the same way, they'll tell you, you can't make everybody happy, but stick with your word and do what you say you're going to do the best.
That's right.
Can.
That's right.
Then you see all kinds of different stuff with working with NHRA, and then these facilities. We worked at outlaw tracks, literally had an event at outlaw track, or at a place like Worldwide Technology Raceway that's huge, right? I mean, I don't know there's a better facility in the country.
I can only think of one. That's XRP.
There you go.
I was talking about that place today with Kurt Johnson, and it's badass.
I'm going to tell you.
Talking like we have relationships with Kurt Johnson and all these people. People is what make all this go, and we're try to listen and absorb everything we can, and then just make the best decision after that. So I'm excited to work with you guys in Huntsville.
David, same here, man.
I've never met David. Seems like a great guy, very business oriented.
He
very
is
planned, very focused.
He is, man. Yeah, he's a military guy. Well, I can't say military. Me as former military myself, I know how to communicate with the guy, right? But he is I wouldn't say high functioning, but he's just got that very militaristic style of, this is how it's going to be. This is the SOP. This is how we're going to do it. Bam, 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 bam. And you're like, all right, okay, well.
Yeah, we had the power go out at one of our events one time, the whole facility. So that one wasn't in the playbook. So, but stuff like that, we've learned, and I have all the confidence in the world between ADRL Nation and all your all's people and the
Amen.
Guys. Verge, it's going to be a hell of a show at Huntsville. It really will.
Man, I'm excited. And just like Mike said, man, you guys have 60 470 cars out there. We'll draw in 20 pro mods. I mean, just those two themselves is going to be all the spectators are going to need to see. Right? I mean, they're going to be
out there dropping weight on his dragster, dropping weight on himself. He's ready to tear some dragsters apart down there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure, man. We got guys that are just so hungry and so ready. And so with your 450 class, I'm wondering how many of these guys, it might be really hard, but we had some double entries with some index and our pro and our extreme dragster class. And I wonder if any of those guys will do that. It might be tough, though, to run some pro extreme and some 450. I don't know. Anyway, I'm thinking out loud here. Doesn't matter.
We do see that. We kind of got used to that through our other races because, that we can, at our other events, our bracket races, like double entries of any forms, which those guys can turn around a little quicker. But, kind of what I learned there was with the run order, trying to give them a run order that allows them a little bit of time and stuff like that. And it is tricky, but I would say we'll have a couple.
Okay, so you guys do have a crew. You have a staging lane guy. You have I mean, you guys have, I mean, shit, at this point, they have run the gauntlet with that many cars. I mean, it's not hard to weed out any kind of issues with that kind of show. Holy cow.
Yeah, and everything's laddered, right? You know, so 470 and 450, they're laddered from the get-go. So we got a pair 60-some cars.
Oh, my Lord.
But we've got a system, thanks to Jeff Walls. Shout out to Jeff again. He had, you know, we break it down into colors. That way not everybody's trying to get in the lanes at one time. We'll take one section of the bracket, then we'll take another section, and so on. We didn't make a lot of instrumental changes in the way the program was ran. Jeff had that pretty ironed out. We just had to execute it, right? So Saturday, like our Saturday of the first event, we were learning. I kept telling Tyler, like, the racers are ahead of us. And I didn't like that feeling. I just did not like it, right? You know,
you're going through the learning curve at that point.
We're always waiting on them. You know, we're good.
Sure.
We get rounds over. We do our deal on the back end, and then we're waiting on them. Saturday of the first Verge race, me and Tyler, I think they were waiting on us for a split second. We were just trying to wrap our head around some of the stuff.
Right. You're like, wait, what?
Sunday, I remember calling up to him. I was down the lanes pairing a set of cars or something. I'm like, all right, got them all. We're good. And they're like, well, hold on. We're still running another class. And I'm like, got them. We're ahead of them. We're good. We're good. We got it.
You're like, there it is.
There it was, right? It was a relief, right? And
for sure.
From then on out, I mean, you know, it's a credit to Jeff teaching us well, and Jeff comes to all the races still. So,
love it, man.
And Jeff, and like I said, our wives and Tyler's mom and the tracks we work with, man. Shout out to the track owners and the managers. You know, Brock Porter at Beach Bend. Great dude, awesome dude. He's seen about every kind of form of racing. So where he sees us trying to go the wrong way, he'll steer us back in. You know what I mean?
They make a huge difference in everything. I can tell you that from our limited time. We have gotten very lucky, I guess. You know, who knows? But man, we have just hit jackpot after jackpot with track owners that we've worked with.
For sure, man. We talk about Dan and Al at Rockingham Dragway. I mean, those guys were super awesome to work with. Then we talk about Raul Torres, the owner of South Georgia Motorsports Park. I mean, him and his wife, he's a new track owner, but dude, I mean, he did everything just short of going broke, helping us make sure we put on a good event, man. And even with the rain, I mean, his crew was just killing themselves, making sure that track was set up properly, right? And then Brad Wheeler at Montgomery International Dragway, another new track owner, you know, and he's working through the weeds too. But again, another dude who was like, look, we're in it together, you know, whatever, man, let's make this thing happen. And the support from him and everybody. So far, all of our races have been with new track owners.
Yeah, that's not at every track. Yeah. Like, I mean,
and Brad too, Brad Wheeler. I mean, he's had a lot of fights of his own, you know, dealing with things over the last, 18 months or so, you know, as he kind of tried to get that place, 2600 North Belt Drive. It's my favorite racetrack in America.
No really?
He won $1 million race there, so that may be why.
Are you serious? $1 million race? That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, bracket race. But Brad, you know, when he kind of came into that deal, it wasn't on the up and up, and he's really turned it around and you know, started in the back in the right direction for that place. So he's one of the best at it, obviously.
Yeah, and just his level of character is just, I mean, as good as it gets, right? I mean, you could just tell, like, he's there to do the right thing for the right reason. I didn't sense there was no sense of shadiness or anything. Like, it was, hey, we're here to do this together. What do you need from me? Hey, who do you need? What do you need? You know, and
you got to give a shit. It boils down to
give a shit. That's right.
I mean,
man.
That's it. And
that's
there's a lot, you know.
We've been to tracks where they weren't that helpful, and we've, you know, tried to go to tracks and had conversations with tracks where you hung the phone up and you thought, man, that was shady.
Right.
And you're like, that didn't feel good.
They didn't really care. You know, if they don't want us there, then it's never going to work. Right.
Yeah.
If they don't care anything about it, it's not going to work. So,
yeah, that's true. You know, and God, I just hope that we just continue down this path. Speaking of the devil, Raul, what's up, brother? Yeah, absolutely. Good folks attract good folks. Yeah, man, 100%. You know, and I just hope that as we continue, that, you know, it all continues to be as nice as it is. You know, I didn't expect rainbows and cupcakes right out of the gate. And I'm going to tell you, we certainly haven't had that. We've hit not every pothole, but man, we've hit a whole lot of speed bumps along the way. So, but just from track owner standpoint, it's been great. And I just, I'm just going to assume and put out to the universe that it's going to continue that way, and hope that we don't get stuck in that settle up situation on a Sunday or Monday where things just don't seem right, and it just is weird. I don't want that, So,
and I actually took a track manager role this year.
Right on, man. Where at?
We do, yeah. US 60 Dragway. It's a racetrack here in Kentucky. Been here 70 years now, probably 80 years.
I think you called Chris.
Yeah, you might have talked to my boss, Chris Mattingly, about it, but he bought it.
Yeah, Chris year. And his wife.
Yep, Shelby.
Yeah, man. I met Chris at the World Series of Pro Mod, as a matter of fact.
That's right. Yeah, he was telling me about that, actually, because I told him, I said, look, I can't stay till dark tonight. I gotta go home and do this deal. But taking that deal over, we've been dealing with literal speed bumps and rain and
in the right lane
else, and I just every day's a fight, and it's
crazy.
Yeah.
Well, Chris seems, and I don't really know him personally. I feel like I'm a good judge of character, even though I don't like to judge people, but I've got like this innate ability to just kind of sense, you know what I mean? Yeah. And he seems like just a super cool, laid back kind of guy that wants to make it happen, and clearly he's got good support. He's got his wife walking miles through the pits with him as well. And my wife's the same way, man. I mean, even with the kids, we drag the kids along and they spend the weekend at the track, which
it boils down. They give a shit, right?
I don't
know how laid back he is. If he's watching,
he's great.
Chris doesn't. Chris not laid back, but
he's kind of like go. He has like a laid back approach. But you definitely know that he wants to get things done. And my favorite part is I've struggled with people that I worked with or for that, I know I'm bad about it. If I've got an employee, I'll beat around the bush about, hey, I know you don't want to do this, but we got to get it done. And what I love about Chris is he just comes at me and tells me this is what we have to get done. And he's really good about how to approach people and getting things done, like you said. And his wife never been to a racetrack before, maybe a couple times with him racing, and they had center console boats, and he had gotten out of racing, and that's what they went and did. And he called me and said, hey, we bought a racetrack, and want to sit down with you and help me find a track manager. So
were you like, why the hell did you buy a racetrack, dude?
Yeah, I'm so happy that I did this, because I wanted to buy a racetrack myself, and now I have no desire to do that. So
right. Yeah. Now you get to see it from the inside and manage one. You're like, no, I'm glad that I'm in this position. Yeah. Seeing Chris, though, it was maybe it was just the environment, right? Because we're not there racing. We're not there promoting the event or hosting the event. So, I think when you catch us in a different element or a different environment, we probably put just like now, right? I'm pretty laid back, and if we were to go out and meet each other at some other event, it would be great times, right? But when how that is, when it's that weekend and you're in the mode, man, like it's shit and get, and you're making things happen, so I get that. Well, congratulations, dude. That's awesome. I'm sure you're learning a lot of invaluable information, I guess, about all kinds of shit, right?
We're grinding the racetrack this week, so that's what Kurt Johnson's been here all week, and we're re-grinding the track. We've got a race on Saturday. They're still grinding all day tomorrow, so it's just, and then the next week we got a big event. We got to go in and try to get a base put back on it, and it's I'm going at 3:30 in the morning to start with them guys, so it's
a lot of
stuff.
Yeah. Plus, you guys are doing these other events. So, your next event is that with us? Is that our next event, or you got one?
We're gonna go back to Bowling Green. We've got two more before we get to Rocket City.
So okay. We've got two more Verge races, I believe. Yes, and then we've got two of our other deals too. We actually, for the first time this year, we've got obviously it's the first year we've owned two series, but we have a race for each series on the same weekend. So Brian and I are going to.
Oh my Lord!
Do that deal. Yeah, we just keep making it harder on ourselves. But, yeah.
Hey man, you know what? That's what makes you more seasoned, right? I mean, I have always been a huge proponent. Maybe I learned this from the military, or maybe even my mom prior to the military. But you've got to constantly put yourself in uncomfortable positions, because that's the only way you're going to learn anything. It's where you get your knowledge, right? So, yeah, make it uncomfortable. I love being uncomfortable.
We're on the ADRL live podcast right now. So two bracket racers on the ADRL podcast.
Hey man, yeah, but look, you guys are doing great things, man, and making big names for yourselves and doing great things. Not just with your other is it T&B? Is that right?
TB,
T&B
yeah,
Promotions.
TB.
Yep.
Yeah.
TB and now the Verge. So you guys are doing it, man. Because you give a shit, right? And I think that you're putting that out to the universe. And I caught wind of that just talking to you, Brian. I'm like, oh man, Brian's my kind of guy. Like you
No,
could just
I was
tell.
gonna say, I don't want to blow smoke or nothing like that, but like appreciate you, the conversation we had. I didn't know you from Adam, not that Adam, but Adam.
I get it all the time.
We had good conversation, and you were up front with me. You were like, "This is our first go at it." We did some stuff last year.
Yeah.
We're learning a lot. You didn't just come in and say, "This is what we're gonna do," because I know everything and all that. And, you're interested in what I had to say, and I hope I return that favor. And then
For sure.
hooking up with David. Huntsville was kind of, what was Huntsville closed, right?
Yeah.
Huntsville was closed for a year, 2 years, something like that.
Yeah.
And we both bracket raced at Huntsville.
Won your first race.
Won my first 10-grander at Huntsville.
Nice.
So we got a history there, right? So
yeah.
When we saw it was coming back up, and it had, it seemed like the new manager gave a shit. You gave a shit, and I'm like, man, this will work, right? We were looking for another date on the series because we had to redo the Verge schedule when we took it over because of conflicts. So I'm like, man, Huntsville will be great. We got a lot of racers in Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia for the Verge
sure.
still.
Mississippi.
Right.
Texas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Getting a little closer to them instead of all the Kentucky races, which, that's where majority of them are, obviously, but other than Rocket City. But I think it's going to be great with your Pro Mod show. There's no reason not to be there. You know what I mean? It'll be great.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. And, and I think whenever like-minded individuals get together and it's in the spirit of doing it because you give a shit, you want to do something great. I love seeing the evolution of things and how things in the future end up progressing. I don't understand. And when I first came into this industry, I didn't fully understand why I didn't see more of series working together. I mean, you got some of these really great promoters that do these great things, these great series, and it seemed to me like they were all kind of competing against each other, which I sort of understand, but it's like, why not make it easier on the racers? Why not make it easier on each other? And not just that, but have the Woodstock of drag racing, or have these big, now what you see in the music industry where you have so many bands come together at one giant show and it's 3 days of greatness. Right. It's like, why not come together more often? So I really like kind of seeing this kind of come into fruition, working with other organizations, man. And I appreciate you reaching out to me. So looking forward to it, brother. I really am.
Yeah, for sure. And drag racing, if you really step back, and I mean, you would know this best because, we just, all we've cared about is drag racing all our lives. So you get stuck in that world. But when you really step back and look at it, it's a small group of people and being relative to the actual population. It's not like we have, half of the population in America drag races.
But, right, exactly.
So it's when you get these series that actually take a smaller group of those people, and then you got 6 or 7 of those series, you're spreading out the racers so much that, working with other promoters and other series, and, continuing with those series like both of us have done, and then put those together, you get better events, you get happier racers, you got better, future for the sport. And
100%. And the spectators, they get one hell of a show, right? It's like, damn, really?
4 or 5 times.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be an event where you definitely need to make sure you have hearing protection. Like if you thought you were going to just come and there's going to be just a lull in racing, it's not. It's going to be nonstop ear hole onslaught.
Yeah, I mean, the best thing with us joining, ours is an index base, so there is a breakout, right? You can't go faster than the coursing. But everything's pro tree. Even our junior dragsters are pro tree.
Love it.
To the casual fan that comes in that doesn't, trying to explain bracket racing to a casual fan is like rocket science, right?
Dude, it took me a good year to figure it out.
Right. And that's just not its place. But that's what I really liked and intrigued me was the spectator part of the Verge series, right? Because it's a heads-up drag race. It's door car versus door car.
Yeah.
First one there wins without going faster than 470. That's a little
Much easier
simpler.
to understand,
You know,
understand,
Yeah, for
most
sure.
of them can understand that. And
Yeah.
well, even if they don't understand that part, they left at the same time and the tree fell at the same time. And it looks just like, NHRA on Sundays. All the bulbs came on and they went, right?
And they win. And somebody's going to win. Somebody's going to beat
Somebody
the other
won,
guy.
right?
You're right. Exactly.
So it's a good little mix because, on the driver side of it and the bracket side of it, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of them guys that can go 470 at 128 and they're shutting off early. And then there's guys going 470 at 160 mile an hour. So there's a lot of gamesmanship and a lot of strategy being played, which really intrigued us on the bracket sportsman side, right? Playing games, going down the track and different strategies and all that stuff. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. And with the ADRL, I mean, it's going to be all heads up drag racing technically all weekend long. So
technically, yeah. And we've kind of been used to doing some bracket racing in our events. So this would be nice to have a little bit change of pace where it is all heads up pro tree stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like just a good solid heads up drag racing for the whole weekend.
Right.
Yeah, consistent. You hit it right. So whose shop are you guys at? Tyler or Brian? Brian.
Yeah, this is actually
This is the Bohannon family compound.
Yeah, it's the shop that we've been. My grandpa built this shop in the '70s, and we've just kind of updated it. And
this is like your third. Well, why don't you give us a tour, man? If you don't mind. Is it a mess?
Yeah,
let's see it.
We've got a little bit of everything in here.
Yeah.
Dude, look at all those trophies. Holy cow, man.
We got a problem with
nice. All those checks.
Yeah.
Oh man, that is a nice looking shop, man. Got some lifts in there. What you got on the back? What you got in the back on the lift there?
That's my C5 Corvette. We have a problem. The only reason that we're actually doing this out here is because we have 15 race cars and they're not all in here.
Oh shit!
We have a bad addiction, and we've got my dad's a Corvette guy. He's got a '67 small block 4-speed car that he races in super stock, and
that's awesome. Yeah, man.
I've got a new C7. It's the Pro Mod. It's a roadster. Basically, Charlie Stewart just takes the Pro Mod body and hacks the roof off of it. So I've got one of those being done, and like I said, just a bad addiction around here. We don't know.
Well, man, I mean, it's your hobby, it's your passion, it's what you guys know. You're 3 generations in. I feel like I was sort of on the cusp of that with my dad. Like when I was a kid, my dad was into hot rods, but he was more of a biker, right? Rode in some pretty hardcore clubs, but he still had like the 70 Cuda, with the 6-pack, and canary yellow, and it was super badass. And then he had a lot of other cool cars. And then I got into hot rods when I was in high school, but we never really had a track anywhere near us or was a part of that in any lineage. It was more bikers in my world. So it's cool to be able to kind of kickstart that with my son because, dude, when we have our events, he's like, Dad, when's Pro Extreme running? When's Pro Nitrous running? He's like, take me out to the middle. I'm like, all right, son, let's go. I'll plug his ears and you just see his eyeballs about pop out of his head when they make their hits. It's so good, man. So
keeps him out of trouble. I can, I just know that I got in enough trouble even drag racing. So if I wouldn't have had that, I have no idea. But where exactly did you grow up? I guess.
Sure. So I grew up in a town called St. Peters, Missouri. It's about 45 minutes west of St. Louis. It's O'Fallon, St. Peters. It's where I grew up. It's not a small town, but it's not a huge town. I'll tell you, here's what's crazy is that when I was going to high school, the Zumwalt School District had one high school, right? And then when I was getting into high school, then we had 2. We had North and South. Now there's, I think, 6 or 7 high schools. Put that in perspective, and then a dozen middle schools, and so it's exploding out here. But it was kind of small town back then, and we're in the Mississippi River Valley, so that's when I got into high school and I had a '66 Mustang with the 289 hypo, and I just loved it. And I was 16. We would go out to the river roads, and that's where we would drag race. I mean, that's it's good old fashioned street racing.
Highway B and Highway C.
Yeah, Highway C. There was even on the highway. There's a part of the road that went over a culvert like this. And so depending on how drunk or high you were, everybody would load up in somebody's van and hit it at 60 miles an hour and see if you just totally crush out the oil pan in their car.
Hell yeah.
It was, it's kind of crazy shit.
Good old days.
Good old days. Long time ago.
my best friend was my engine builder's son. So like, if he wanted to do something, I'm like, well, hell yeah, we can go do it. You can fix it for me. So it's like, great.
Yeah, how great is that? Yeah. You know, but being out here though, I mean, we have Stigemeyer Racing. They're well known for their heads. We got Jerry Bickle, we got Larry Jeffers, we got some big chassis guys, and then we got Chris Duncan Race Cars, maybe a couple hours from us in Illinois. So we do happen to be right in the middle of some really killer chassis and engine guys. Not like it is in North Carolina, I think. Maybe in Alabama. It just seems like the Southeast has a whole lot of really killer engine builders, out there.
There's just so much going on down there in racing. But you talk about Larry Jeffers. That I'm not one to answer my phone very well, especially at all. Especially unknown numbers. I just whatever.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So last week after the Verge race, I was headed to the track on Monday morning, and it rang unknown number, and I answered it, and he said, "Tyler, this is Larry Jeffers. How you doing?" I said, "Not bad, sir. How are you?" And he goes, "Well, I just called to let you know that Verge stuff is badass."
Yeah,
I mean, this don't get much.
And that's
cooler,
awesome, Larry Jeffers.
Yeah, for sure. No, Larry's definitely a cool guy. It's interesting you said that, because I talked to Larry once at the World Series of Pro Mod, and a few weeks ago, same thing, man. I don't know if he was like kind of in his feels or something, for drag racing or what, but he called me. I saw Larry Jeffers. I answered. I was like, "Larry, what's good?" He's like, "Hey, Ryan, what's going on?" And we just shot the shit, and he's like, "Come on down. I know you're not far from me." And I was like, "All right." And it was a cool conversation. I'm like, "Oh, well, that was Larry Jeffers." He's like, "Yeah, Keith Aney and I were talking about you, and I just thought I'd give you a call." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's cool, man. Yeah, I don't know what you guys were talking about, but yeah."
Right.
I mean,
of course, the kid in me, being around racing, it's like anytime that somebody like that calls me, I hang up the phone. I call my dad. I call my mom. I call
sure.
him. I'm like,
guess who called? Right. Well,
Yeah.
you've made a great name for yourself, man. So don't be shocked that you're not getting like calls from like Richard Petty and shit. But, I mean, obviously he's not, into drag. But so hey, real quick, I'm going to do the segment. So I've got a segment that I call In the Groove, and just a little bit of background history about me. I am a gearhead. However, I'm a musician by heart. I'm a guitar player, have been since I was a kid, come from a long lineage of musicians, right? But I'm a metalhead, and that's kind of what gets me going. Whether I'm listening to Pantera or Slayer, it doesn't matter what it is, right? It's good stuff. But I'm pretty well-rounded. However, with you guys, we'll start off with you, Brian. So, Brian, when you're in the shop and, you're driving or you're in the shop or you guys are getting ready to race, what are you listening to? What kind of music do you listen to kind of get you going?
I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy.
Awful.
You're not a music guy?
Not that guy.
Awful.
Really?
I listen to talk radio, bro. I'm like 80 years
Oh
old.
my god!
So you're like a motionless.
Yeah, 100%.
Too busy. I'm on the phone all the time. I don't have time.
At least
not that
podcast,
guy.
anything.
I'm podcasting it or on the phone.
Yeah. I get you.
Okay,
there. I'm
so
all about podcast.
Adam is a Adam's a diehard podcast guy. I mean, every time I call him, I hear the podcast in the background, whatever he's listening to. I mean, I know he's listening to podcasts all day, every day. What
Mary
podcast?
Caravello Live, 3 days
Oh
a
no,
week.
it's just all racing all the time. Like,
Oh,
it's,
yeah.
I listen to
Okay.
all that stuff. Going
Oh,
bracket
yeah.
racing. Luke and Jed used to have a This Is Bracket Racing podcast.
Yeah.
And I even listen to the shake and bake shows and all that
Sure.
stuff. Like any kind of form. I mean, I watch ADRL live on Facebook for some reason. You know what I mean? So, and then I look what it turned into. Looks what it turned into. So,
Yeah, amen, right?
anything racing related, really, honestly, that's all I listen to.
Well, that's your music, man. That's the music to your ears, is motors and drag racing. Whether you're listening to it or talking about it, sounds like that's what gets you going. So I respect that for real, man, for sure. What about you, Tyler? What kind of gets you in the mood, man? What gets you going?
So if I'm out here in the shop, you're never out here by yourself.
Sure.
It's me. It's either me and my dad, or me and my dad, and my buddy Hunter that runs his wiring business out of here or whatever. And it's every day something new. It's going to be 90s rap one day, 90s country the next, metal the next day. I mean, it ranges all over the board, but it's all of it.
Tyler's a big karaoke star.
Well,
he loves to do
Really?
karaoke.
You sing, man? You like to sing? Get drunk? Have a few beers and drink?
My sister is amazing. She can play the piano. She sings. She's unreal.
Oh, that's great.
So
I just like to
let's
drink
say
beer and sing loud country music or something dumb.
What's your go-to karaoke?
Vidalia, Johnny Kershaw.
so now if after that $1 million race, they in the winner's circle, they walked up to you with an iPod with every song in the world on it, what's going to be the one you go to?
If I did it again, it would have to be Vidalia. It'd still be
That's the
Vidalia.
one.
Yeah, right.
We
That's
always
the
like
one.
every year the guys that I race with, for some reason we all go to Vegas. So every year when we go to Vegas for the spring fling, there's 5 of us riding out there together because it's like the drives, the journey, whatever.
Sure.
So we drive out there and we get hooked on one song and it's like that for the whole year. And that's been Vidalia's been it for a couple of years. So I guess that's above the rest of them.
Well, that's great, man. So you come from a line of musicians yourself, it sounds like. Your sister plays piano and she sings?
Yeah, my sister, she's a wonderful piano player and good singer. My uncle's a really good singer. I don't know past that. I don't know where the hell it came from for them, but they've got it figured out.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, hey, man, you never know. You either got it or you don't. It's one of those things. Yeah. So where exactly are you guys located? Brian and Tyler, you guys live pretty close to each other or same town?
We're about 35 minutes apart. It's actually funny. I live on the south end of Louisville, Kentucky. So I'm right here on the Ohio River. He actually lives in Corden, Indiana. So we live in 2 different states, but we're only 35 minutes apart.
Oh, okay. Louisville. No, I love that area, man. Like that's the section I go through on the way down to Alabama or like Destin I go through there. I've got a friend that lives on Lake Gunnersville down there, which is just, man, he's got just a great spot down there. Let's see. Yeah. So, well, that's a great area, man. I really love Kentucky. What a beautiful state. I mean, the rolling hills, the mountains, you kind of start getting into some of the really nice nature. It seems pretty green and awesome down there. So
you got a little bit of everything. And my thing's always been, I'm 4 miles from I-65 and I'm 10 miles from I-64 and I can be on the road to any racetrack in America very, very fast. So.
Yeah, that's great, man. Well, that's cool. Well, hey, we're going to wrap it up, but Tyler, Brian, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for calling out and or reaching out, I should say, and calling me and getting this whole thing going, man. I'm really excited and looking forward to Huntsville. If you can't tell already,
it'll be great, man. It's gonna be good.
Great. And we'll talk just to kind of take my nerves off. I know you guys are, at this point have master's degrees in promoting events and doing these big events, but we'll get the conversation going sooner than later and just kind of plan what we want to do in Huntsville just to, just make it one super giant killer banger event, man. So,
and just put a little teaser out there. We're actually going to do a racer appreciation party at Huntsville.
Okay.
That's our last event, championship.
Okay.
And we had a bunch of great sponsors that, stuck with us, came on board, and shout out JCC Restoration. They're from the Alabama area. He wanted to do something, and 31 days I didn't have a whole lot of options that I felt confident giving him, and it's something that we do in our bracket racing stuff. At one night we have a racer appreciation party. We're going to grill out, give some free drinks, kind of at the end of the season. Love for your guys to come over, you guys, and maybe we can
for sure
get some DJ, get some music playing or something. I know you got
no doubt about it.
That.
Yeah, I could get a band, no doubt.
We'll have Tyler singing Vidalia. You know what I mean? So it's going to be a party, and it's also going to be a great show. You know what I mean? It's looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm super excited, man. Well, hey, it was a pleasure meeting you. Obviously, we've met before. Tyler, it's a pleasure meeting you for the first time. Brian, it was great to actually kind of put your voice to your face and, meet you guys virtually here. But we'll be talking again soon, and hope you guys have an awesome summer. And again, we'll be talking soon. Appreciate you guys being on, for real.
Thanks for having us on.
Thank you very much.
And we'll see you soon.
All right. See you guys.
See you.
Man, what a great group of guys. Holy cow.
Indeed.
Dude, doesn't it seem just constant? I guess it's the universe that just kind of looks out for good people, man. It just like Raul said, it's, universe links up the same people, I should say. Yeah. Good folks attract good folks. That's right. So I'm really excited to do this with those guys, man. It sounds like they got their shit together. They've been 3 generations in. Boy, we got something to learn from those guys, for real.
Yeah. Better step our game up.
I mean, I guess. Yeah. Shit, they're drawing 50 to 90 cars at their event, just 470 cars. That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Yeah. Who's helping who here?
Who's helping who? Yeah, no kidding. Thank you guys for real. Oh, it's so good, man. Yeah, just a great group of guys. So that was exciting, man. What a great episode this was. I was really glad to have those guys on here.
Yeah, no, it went good.
Yeah,
no
for sure.
On my side at all.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Again, we want to thank our awesome sponsors, Renegade Racing Fuel and Toby Baptiste and his awesome team. Fuel Tech Racing Fuel or Fuel Tech. I guess there's not Racing Fuel, but Fuel Tech Racing. But all their stuff they do. They're very diverse in all their gear. And Luis, the owner, Luis, and look forward to having Luis at some of our events. And then Chris Duncan Race Cars and everything they do. Still looking forward to them getting the Cutlass and getting into that thing and doing some work for me so I can actually drag it to the track one of these times and make some hits. If not anything, bro, we'll go to Midnight Madness.
No.
We'll go to a Midnight Madness and see if I can blow it up there. That'd be a good time.
You throw you into a testing tune.
Yeah, right. There it is. Yeah,
doesn't have to be in a bracket or anything like that. Just send the damn thing down the track.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Oh my gosh, that'd be so fun. All right, Prince Adam, you got anything, my man?
Nope, all good here.
All right. Well, again, great job, dude. Appreciate you. And everybody tuning in, thank you again. If you're watching from YouTube, please like, subscribe. Make sure you follow us in the future. Leave some comments or follow us on Facebook. Follow our page, like our page. Greatly appreciate it. And drop some stars. If you don't know what stars are, check it out. It's just a little way to show some monetary appreciation to us, and any little bit counts. I mean, I think it's like pennies, honestly. But
it's Facebook only right now.
Yeah, Facebook only. So yeah, if you wouldn't mind doing that, that'd be tremendously appreciated. Again, remember, we got gear, we got t-shirts, we got koozies, and we got tumblers. So and we even got some stickers. So go to the website, buy some gear, let's get it out to you. Boom, got some stickers there. And we appreciate it. So much love, everybody. Until next Tuesday night. If you choose to tune in on Tuesday night, it's a little rude, a little shrewd, and doesn't have a lot of content. We just say whatever we want, which could be a little offensive. But hey, Tuesday night's all right. Tuesday night's all right. And then if not, we'll see you next Thursday. So until then, I'm Dr. Fears.
I'm Prince Adam.
Great, interesting conversation. Lots of racers out there and tracks wanting to get involved. Good deal. Amen, Dan. Amen, sir. Absolutely. All right. Until next time, peace and chick grease.